Hello everybody, Josh with the STEM Scouts again. This is our last experiment for our summer series, so I hope that you enjoy it. We're going to make sun catchers out of sodium chloride and some recycled lids. What you're going to need is some salt, preferably Epsom salt, an old plastic lid, water, empty jars, bowl or measuring cup, fork, a tray, some string, and a push pin. So gather those things up and we're going to make some really cool decorations that you can adorn on your window or maybe put out in mom or dad's flower garden. So let me spin this camera around and we'll get started. Welcome back to the lab, everybody. Today we're going to make sodium chloride sun catchers. These will be really cool because once they're done, you can stick them in your windows, you could stick them outside in mom or dad's garden, and they'll make a really neat decoration and catch the sun and refract the light in really cool ways. So what we're going to need today is some Epsom salt. If you don't have Epsom salt, what I would suggest is large chunk sea salt that you may have at your kitchen table, or just try any salt that you might have in your house. You'll need a fork or a spoon to stir. You're going to need that salt and water on a 1-to-1 ratio. 1-to-1 means if you use an amount for the salt, you use the same exact amount for the water. So I'm using half a cup of salt and a half a cup of water. You're going to need a flat lid, a container lid that's plastic, as clear as you can get, alright? You'll need a nail or a push pin and some string. So we'll get through this here in a few seconds. If you don't have those materials, here's the list. Press pause and take a few minutes to get all these materials and come on back and we'll get started. Now I said sodium chloride earlier. If you're not sure what that is salt. On my list, I had the science term there listed, NaCl. So salt, sodium chloride, the two molecules go together and create that nice flavor that we enjoy on corn on the cob and in all of our meals. So like I said earlier, you want the 1-to-1 ratio. So if you want to make a lot of these, you might need 1 cup of water and 1 cup of salt. I'm only going to do this one. So I have half a cup of salt, half a cup of water. What you want to do with the water is you want to microwave that, and you want to get it really hot. I've already done that, so what I'm going to do is simply pour my salt in. And then you want to stir. And as you're stirring, it's kind of like when we made our rock candy crystals. You want to get that salt to dissolve, okay? And what dissolve means is the actual sodium chloride is not melting, but it's kind of leaving its solid form and being soaked up by the liquid. And you would know that's happening because some of it will start to disappear. And also if you taste your water, it will taste salty. So now that that's all soaked or dissolved, stirred. This experiment's going to take a little bit of time. It's not an instant one, kind of like the rock candy. It took a while to make. So carefully, because our water is hot, you're going to fill the lid with a little bit of water, okay? Now, if you have the ability, set this experiment up outside and it'll speed up the process on a nice hot sunny day. The sun will evaporate the water, and as the water evaporates out, it goes into the atmosphere. The sodium chloride crystals, the salt if you will remain on our lid, and it'll remain in a various patterns. If you want to, if you have a couple lids, try different food colorings to make red, green, maybe yellow ones, and then you can decorate them, decorate the garden with them. The reason we have the string and the nail is once they're completely dry, carefully take the nail or your thumb pin, push pin, and drive a hole through it. Take your string and then tie that, and then you can simply hang them wherever you would like to hang them. But this is a fun experiment just because we have all of our materials all over, and you get to learn about some dissolving sodium chloride, how chemicals combine, and they're all over our world. We use this one at the dinner table almost every day. And then you get to experience what evaporation is, as well as the water goes into the atmosphere and leaves the solid crystals behind again. If this is something that you like to do, you like science, you like experiments, you like learning about the world around you, STEM Scouts might be your thing. Go to stemscouts.org/Reading, look for that logo, and you know that you're there. We have STEM labs that meet after school throughout Berks and Schuylkill County, and they meet for 90 minutes during their meeting time and do experiments in chemistry, sometimes biology, sometimes engineering. But you get to do hands-on experiments every time. It's not like school. There are no tests. It's fun, hands-on, and you get to work with your friends, and that's what's important. You get to hang out with friends and learn all at the same time while having lots and lots of fun.